Hello and welcome to IOI Monthly episode 3. My name is Travis, I'm your community manager for the next hour, where we'll be talking about all the latest updates from the studio, and of course from Hitman 2. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who's already joined us in chat, on Twitch and Mixer. This is our third episode of IOI Monthly, our one-stop shop for all of the latest news on everything to do with your favorite game franchise. So we are expecting a guest to join us shortly. Sissel from the game design team will wrap up the busy work she's doing on Hitman and come and join us later on in the stream. So we're going to start off with just myself, and later on we'll have Sissel joining. We'll let you know as soon as that's going to happen. So today's agenda, to let you all know what there is on the cards, what to look forward to. We have some updates from the studio, a few things there. We're going to go back to the April update and look at a few key points there and how they were received by you guys, our players. Then we're going to move into the current month, where we are going to look at the May roadmap, which you're already quite familiar with, and then the May game update, which is coming tomorrow. After that, we look way ahead into the future. We've got the June roadmap, and then we've got the questions round. This is where I've gathered a whole bunch of questions from Discord, Reddit, and we're going to go through a lot of those different things. Hopefully Sissel's here by then. But we're also going to be taking questions from chat, so please shout at us. Clemens, our community developer, who's made famous by the roadmap trailers, he's here backstage to make sure that all of your questions get heard. He'll be running with the IO account on Mixer and Twitch, so if there's something that comes up during the stream that you're curious about, if there's details that you want to know and you haven't already submitted your question, it's not too late. We'll make time to get through as many questions as we possibly can. After that, we have an outro where there might be some other cool stuff as well that we'll get to, with some upcoming content, maybe more details from the June roadmap to come as well. So, the first thing we want to look at is studio updates. Clemens is wearing a hat. He was laughing. I'm guessing there was a question in chat if he's wearing a hat. He just put it on. What kind of hat? Okay, he's just put it on. So, black hat. So the studio updates. Let's start with the studio updates first. We had recently in Denmark, we had Spilprisen. We tweeted a little bit about this, which is essentially the Danish Game Awards. So that's really cool. We actually took home 2 awards. They come as these really cool gold cubes. You can see on this side, it says Spil for Danish players. And on this side, it says Best Game Design for Hitman 2. So we were very honored, very proud to take home Best Game Design. And we also won an award for Best Sound as well. Best Game Audio, I think it was. That was a really cool event. We were very well represented. I think there was something like 30 people from the team went to a local theatre to see the award show, which was really well done by the Danish games industry, with some prizes all across the board for Best Newcomer, Best Live Game, a whole lot of different awards, but we were very happy to take home 2 of those. That was early in the month. But it doesn't stop there. We also had the Nordic Game Awards, which was quite recently, and we won there as well. So we took home Best Technology. So we've picked up 3 awards in the last month. Really proud, really happy to take those home, and to be kind of mentioned, especially in the Nordic game categories. There is a lot of really good games coming out, especially in the last year. So that's really exciting, really good for us. We've kind of passed these gold cubes around. I had to steal this from Andreas. You might remember Andreas from last month's stream. He's not here, or he was in a meeting or something when I stole this, so he doesn't know it's gone. So it's on a temporary break for us, and for us to kind of have 47 look after it. Alright, the other thing that we've done at the studio recently is we announced a partnership with a upcoming Danish esports club called Copenhagen Flames. The full details about this are on the website. I'm not going to re-go over that news, but it's obviously very exciting for us to partner with a local club, to have them working in the building with us, giving us their sort of expert input and advice, feedback on especially the multiplayer aspects of Hitman 2. At some point we can have some of the guys there on the stream. I think it could be really interesting to talk to them about what they're doing. One thing that I do want to kind of underline is that it doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to be making Hitman 2 into an esports title. It doesn't mean that we're going to have kind of dramatic changes to how Hitman 2 is currently working. This is definitely something we're excited about for the future and how we can work and collaborate with the entire team at Copenhagen Flames. Those are the three main things that have been happening at the studio in the last month. This is called IOI Monthly, so we can kind of get away with doing those things. But of course, we are, and I guess the reason that most of you are here is for Hitman 2. So if we move on to the next segment, we have the April update. So this was something that we went into in depth last month. We talked about Ghost Mode that was coming to Colombia on Santa Fortuna. A lot of you have been playing that, having a good time with that. We also introduced the Phantom, what's it called? The Phantom Assassin Challenge, where you can take down 100 targets and you unlock a brand new suit. I also just want to flag with that a few feedback that we got from players about some of the respawning, about either respawning really close to the same target in multiple occasions, or if you are respawning where guards are still in combat with you. They are rare occurrences, but we've seen them reported. They've been noted and flagged to get fixed, of course, but they're not coming in the May update. That was too soon for us to change those things. If Cecil comes into the stream soon, she can talk in a lot more detail about Ghost Mode. She worked on that with, well, she was part of the team that worked on that. So there's some more specifics there about how that's gone, but as far as I can see, people are having a great time with that. And the other thing is the Silent Assassin changes that we introduced. So we were talking about the new rules for how to earn Silent Assassin. We were talking about how you can earn that coveted award and how our ambitions for it were to be something quite difficult to achieve, sort of a pinnacle that you would aim for. Those changes, as far as I can see, have gone down relatively well. I'm sure that if there's players that disagree with these things, they'll tell me, but in the last month, I've seen generally good feedback. Again, Cecil can talk to those points. We'll kind of jump back to the April update as we get there when Cecil joins. Otherwise, we can take them on a future live stream. But that was the April update. It came out, it went down pretty well. But I don't want to sit and talk about last month's stream for too long. So, let's look at the current day. If we move ahead again to the next point on the agenda, the May roadmap. If we pull that up for you guys, you can see something you're hopefully familiar with, where we introduced for the first time a kind of headline act, a theme for the month. We have Spring Break, where that includes the challenge pack, that's the Undying Returns in Miami, a big focus on the sort of party theme. We had the Party Crasher featured contracts as well, and that seems to have gone down really well. We have released almost all of the content. The only thing left outstanding on the roadmap as you see it there is both the Deceivers, a new type of elusive target that we've got, as well as a game update, which is coming tomorrow. One thing to note with that, kind of a public service announcement for you, is that we've delayed the release of the Deceivers by a week. They will be now launching on June the 7th. A reminder, if you missed the last stream, the Deceivers is a legacy elusive target that is made up of two previous targets that are now together in the same mission. They count as one target for unlocking your suits for your progression, but you do have to take out both targets and exit the mission for it to count. That mission, different to what it says on the screen here, that will be released June the 7th, so that it comes after Sean Bean has released, Mark Faber. Once that's concluded, you've all had your chance to unlock Lil Flashy, and then the elusive target will come after that. In its place, we will be putting something else there. And we'll get to that when we talk about the June roadmap. So, as we look there, the game update is where we're going to focus our attention now. So, let's talk a little bit about the May update, a preview of what's to come, some of the cool things that we're changing in May, and give you an idea of what's happening ahead of the release notes coming out. So as I said, the update's coming out tomorrow, 28th of May. In terms of download size, it's relatively small. We're looking at somewhere between 750 megabytes and 1 gigabytes for all platforms. So nothing too big, nothing too taxing download-wise. We will have server maintenance at the usual time. That's 11 o'clock until 2 p.m. UTC, so approximately 3 hours. And we'll have updates on the IO Interactive Twitter page, so stay tuned there for updates on maintenance, but it should be 3 hours. During that maintenance period, that's when the update will be released. You can start to download it. Yeah. So the list of what's changing will be published on the website later today. We're going to give you pretty much 24 hours heads up of what's to come, what's changing, so you know exactly what's happening. There are a few things that I want to point out. However, I will say that this update is not as substantial as last month. Last month was pretty big with Ghost Mode and the Silent Assassin changes, had big impact on gameplay and content. This month is slightly leaner, but still some very important changes and fixes coming in that we want to talk you through now. So as you read the patch notes, these are kind of in order, and I'll highlight just a few of them. So one of the things we've done is there's some back-end changes that have been made to some of the menu pages, specifically the destination pages, that should result in slightly faster menu times, navigation. The loading times there should be quicker. But this will have varying impact depending on player to player. It depends on what you've got in the menu, it depends on your connection, it depends on many different things. So I don't want to sit here and say it will be so and so many times faster or so and so many seconds quicker, but you should notice that it's a little bit snappier after the game update tomorrow. Update 2.3, 2:30. One thing that I've seen a lot of people talking about is an issue with one of the Game of the Year Legacy Pack escalations, the Cheveo calibration, where you would disconnect from the server at the end of the mission and you wouldn't be awarded the Sieger 300 Ghost. That's now been fixed. You will now be able to get that rifle if you've got the Game of the Year Legacy Pack. If you don't have it, you should get it, it's cool. And of course you can unlock Sniper Rifle. There was also a similar issue on the final test where players could not unlock the Silent Assassin Suit Only challenge. That's also been fixed. And there was some issues where, I saw this on Reddit, where there's 47 would trigger combat and the guards would not react to that. So now they will, if they were in direct sight of you. Then we can talk about a few other things. There's a few other bug fixes, things with the mini-map, things with dumping bodies through walls. That's been fixed. Places where you could get spotted where you shouldn't be able to be spotted. That's been fixed. A few things with NPC detection and a few issues with items. So for example, the ICA electrocution phone was wrongly tagged as explosive. That's been moved to tools. There was issues on the contracts featured hub where you couldn't access the contract search tile. That's also been changed. And there was a really annoying issue on the hand to port mission where if you left the mission too soon, you would get stuck in the level. 47 wouldn't be able to leave, wouldn't be able to get to the end cinematic. That's also changed. So a bunch of fixes that have come through. There's a whole lot more, especially for Ghost Mode. A few quality of life changes there. But nothing absolutely massive in the same way that we had Ghost Mode and we had Silent Assassin changes last month. But that's not to say it's a small update. A lot of these things needed changing. And a lot of work in the last month has gone towards some of the content you're about to find out that's gone into the June roadmap as we enter a very, very busy period for Hitman 2. There is a ton of updates to the point where the June roadmap is looking a little bit different than last time, and that's going to be fully debuted later this week. Currently planned in for the back end of the week. That's where you'll get your hands on the roadmap trailer with your main man Clemens. Thumbs up from him. That's where you'll get the full roadmap, and we'll give you all of the dates for everything that's coming. That's on Friday. That's on Friday, so stay tuned on the IO blog for those details. But one thing that we talked about, the difference between the May roadmap where we've delayed the Deceivers into June 7th for them. We have a little screenshot we can show of them just to remind you of what the Deceivers is. We can pull that up for you now. We talked about this last time, where the Shinobi Challenge Pack is an item that you've unlocked. You can take that to the Deceivers. There we go, nice segue. When that releases. So as I mentioned earlier, it's two legacy elusive targets. in Sapienza that you can take down within the fines of one contract. So Anthony Trout and Richard McGee are back for you to take down as a duo now. Something that we've never done before. There was also, as you can see here, these screenshots from the briefing. The briefing video got redone, so a good amount of work has been put into making it a cool experience as you revisit Sapienza. Obviously, you'll have to have the Legacy Pack for that to work. And this mission is now releasing on June the 7th. In its place, though, we have something completely new, which will release alongside the game update tomorrow, which is going to be the Muffin Man Challenge Pack. So we have Agent 47 taking on new challenges in Whittleton Creek. And as with all challenge packs, they come with an exclusive unlock where you can then take that unlock to any location. And if you haven't guessed already, it's muffins. So our next unlock that you can start this challenge pack tomorrow will be Agent 47 unlocking, I think it's 3 muffins. Looking at Clemens for clarification. I think it's 3 muffins. Pretty sure it wouldn't give you just 1 muffin. I think it's 3. Maybe it's just 1. If it's just 1, it's a really cool muffin. But you'll have a muffin or muffins to unlock through the Muffin Man Challenge Pack. And the reason that we have the Muffin Man Challenge Pack in the June roadmap is because we recently introduced themes. So you might remember that we mentioned the Spring Break theme, which included a lot of content from Miami. The June roadmap will also have a theme, which is Greed Kills. So the theme for the June roadmap is Greed Kills, and we've got some content that fits that theme perfectly. As we go through the months, the content will match very, very strongly. So you kind of have a feeling of what you're playing matches the theme. There'll be your muffins, of course. The challenge pack coming at the start of the month is ideal for this. So you can play through all of the content in June with muffins in your inventory, should you want to do that. And now, of course, this is the second theme. It's a little bit of a teaser. It looks like we're lined up here to reveal the whole roadmap. We're not going to do that. We're saving that for the trailer. We're putting the final touches on that. Clemens is doing the audio recording. The video capture guys are making sure that everything's in there and all the dates are correct and everything like that. A few more days on that and we'll debut the trailer for you later this week. So before Friday, you'll have your hands on the full roadmap. But we wanted to give you a heads up on the theme so you have a rough idea what to expect, and also so that the Muffin Man Challenge Pack doesn't take you by surprise tomorrow. Cool. That's, for now, everything we have on the June roadmap. There's a few more things we'll detail a little bit later on. Our marketing artist Jeppe has had a hell of a job trying to fit everything in to the image this month. There's that much going on. There's a ton of stuff. But with that in mind, and hopefully giving Cecil some time to wrap up her meetings and join us as the special guest, we'll see if she can make it. If not, we'll fly solo through this one. We've still got tons of information to share with you. But before we get to some of that, I think it's a good time to jump into questions. So, I'm going to take a break, take a drink, get ready, and remind you guys that we had really cool sticky threads on Reddit. Search Hitman Reddit if you're not a member already. The Hitman Discord, discord.gg/Hitman, that should give you the invitation. And Hitman Forum as well, who would miss those out? Where I've already grabbed a bunch of questions, quite a lot, almost the whole sheet. We'll try and go through as many of those as possible. And as I said earlier, there's other questions that we want before we get to more details about the June roadmap. That's coming after the questions round, so stay tuned for that. The big reveals at the end of the stream you don't want to miss. So, let's take the questions round. Clemens is on chat questions, so throw your questions at him. He's going to grab them all together and chuck them at me. But until then, we've got some pre-prepared questions, as I said, from various places across internet. But before we do that, we're going to have Cecil on the stream. So, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. There's really, really important stuff coming with questions and content updates. So we'll be back in just a few minutes and we'll see you on the other side. I'll just do an intro to Cecil. This is Cecil.
Hello.
Who's been on our streams before. Cecil has just come from some very important meetings that she's been in that have overran a little bit. We're very busy these days.
Sorry about that.
I think it's testament to kind of the continued work that we're doing. That's how we'll frame it, at least.
Yes.
But for people that have not watched our streams before, for people that are new or haven't seen you from in the days of running across the Colombian bridges and playing elusives with Philip and Torben and people like that, could you give some sort of like, who are you, what do you do, and at least in Hitman 1 and 2, what have you done?
I can say that.
Go for it.
Hello, I'm Cecil. I'm a game designer here at IO, and I've been here for a little over 4 years. In Hitman 1, mainly, I did a lot of the online missions. I was working on elusive targets, on escalations, on contracts mode, and like all that stuff, not on the main missions. And in Hitman 2, I also worked, I had something to do with escalations, and but mostly I was working on ghost mode, and a lot of other things, as it is here at IO.
We mentioned ghost mode
we don't
already.
never do just one thing.
No,
it's like
there's always a bunch of
things, so, which makes it exciting.
We mentioned ghost mode already as one of the highlights of the April update. Obviously being in Colombia now for the first time. We didn't go into too much detail because we talked about that last month. But if there's questions that people throw at us about that, you're obviously a very good person to talk about that, so we'll direct them your way. Cool. And we also talked about the Silent Assassin changes that came in.
Yes,
that you were also involved with. Yes. Yeah. Big nods there from you. Also involved in. A lot of work went into that. You were part of that team and that group that kind of handled that, dealt with that, came up with the solutions. And I said that people seem to be quite happy with it. So
that's,
we haven't been corrected yet that I've seen. So
I hope so.
Yes.
Are we right about that?
I think we are.
Yeah, okay.
So just before you joined, we promised questions. Perfect timing. We didn't say the first question yet. Some of them you might not know about. You might have no idea what's happening. I will try and answer as many of them as possible. And Clemens is grabbing ones from chat as well. So if people are suddenly saying, Cecil, tell me about this in Ghost Mode or whatever, we'll get in there.
Yeah, we love Cecil.
Okay, so that's nice.
You guys.
So first question, let's jump straight in. The wetsuit as an unlockable. People are asking about that. It's something that we want to do, something we've said we will do it. We have some ideas for where it would fit and what we want to do. But we haven't announced that yet, obviously. That's probably why there's questions about it. But we'll get there, it's not forgotten. We want to do it. I'm pretty confident we will do it. It's just a matter of fitting it in, maybe within a theme, maybe within a certain piece of content we want to put it on. We'll get that when we get there. Cool. Yes. That was from Mechanical Banana on Reddit. Then there was a question about the challenge packs from Hitman 1. So that's like the Vampire Magician challenge pack, Master Sniper challenge pack, whether they could come into the Legacy pack in Hitman 2. I think that's also just a matter of time, a matter of finding the right place for them. There's some cool unlocks in them. There's some cool challenges that would add to the content in the Legacy pack already.
For sure.
So it's not that they're off the table, it's just that they're not on the table right now.
Yeah.
That was DJB11 on Reddit. Thanks for that one. There was a question about any plans for female guards? It's a pretty general question from Wang35. These are in no particular order, by the way. All sorts of questions going back and forwards. Some are obviously about the bank and outfits and stuff like that. So the order is all over the place. I think the question, there's no context to it. It's just any plans for female guards. I'm sure from a game design perspective, that's a lot of challenges. It's something we could do, but it's just not how the game's designed right now.
No, it's not how the game was made, and there's some stuff with animations and outfits, and then of course the whole level design part. Like if you assume that you can take any guard's disguise, then if you just half of them are all of a sudden female, then there's some. It's a new level, kind of level.
For sure.
But just from an experience point of view, I mean, it's something I've always thought, you know, why not?
Yeah,
especially as a woman too. It's like, come on, can't we have female guards? Are women not able to, you know, pull out a gun and shoot you? So from an experience point of view, I think it's something that would be super exciting and that I hope that we might do sometime in the future.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's a no, but it's not a never. It's just not right now.
For sure.
Okay, so let's jump into some questions that we're getting from chat. So we announced that with the patch tomorrow, you get the muffins, and they are not concussion muffins. One of the questions was, and the muffins definitely don't wall bang.
It's just a regular muffin, right?
It's just a muffin. So it's the same muffins that you get in the level, but now you can take your muffins to Miami, or you can take them to anywhere you like. You can knock down elusive targets with muffins.
Yeah,
whatever you want to do.
The beautiful thing about muffins is that, and they actually didn't work like that from release.
The knockdown.
The knockdown where they get up again, like that funny video on Reddit with the guy who just keeps
Repeatedly
like, and the guy
muffin.
and his like dialogue, his like AI, like his reaction. He keeps like, oh, boy. And that's actually something that we. I wasn't a part of it, but I saw it happening, and it was beautiful because we're talking about these objects or these items that are kind of like that would either do nothing or knock people out.
Yeah,
where it felt like, okay, a muffin.
A knockout muffin is a bit.
A little knock a person out with a muffin, right? So, and then we just started talking about it, and a programmer, a gameplay programmer, was like, "Yeah, I mean, I can fix that."
Yeah.
And we got it in, and we saw it in a test scene, and it was just so hilarious.
Yeah.
So we did it for all the for muffin, for the pumpkin, and for the burger, and and it's
all
just
the kind of small things that are melee items, but I mean.
But not
also there's
tough enough
you wouldn't
to
expect
knock somebody out.
KO from a muffin is.
And it actually gives some new gameplay, like this mid-range moment instead of either or, right?
Yeah,
Which is pretty amazing. Yeah.
So they're in.
Yeah.
People asking about the theme. Greed kills is the theme for June. What does it mean? I mean, I don't know if I can answer that specifically. What does it mean? It's
greed
kills.
Is greed.
Greed is greed. Yeah, it'll make a bit more sense maybe later on why we've chose that name. You'll see the content. The muffins are a big hint to it, you know. Greed, greedy, stuff you eat. There's a link there. It'll make sense. It'll make sense. Keep your questions coming. We also got the questions about challenge packs. We answered that. Legacy escalations, that's also the case. There are legacy escalations in Hitman 2. There's a bunch of them there. There's a bunch that we can also put out.
We will?
Too. Yeah, there's more
I'm
coming for sure.
It's a matter of
just a matter of time and slotting them in.
Yeah.
Finding the right time for it. So the live team will be making those calls on what goes out when.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So there are another question from Albanese on Reddit asks, will we see contracts mode on maps that don't have it yet? I would like to think so.
I would like to think so as well.
And I think that's things like some of the Game of the Year missions don't have it.
Yeah.
New Hawke's Bay doesn't have it. I know in the past when we released the Game of the Year update, so the Legacy Pack has the 4 Legacy missions, the Game of the Year missions even. They didn't have contracts mode to start with.
No.
Players asked for it, and we enabled it on one of them.
On one,
On the one that we could, yeah. And in theory, it's possible to do it on another one. It's just a matter of taking the time for the priorities.
Yeah.
I mean, we say that so often, but it's because it's so true. That
it is actually true.
Finding the time to do something that seems relatively trivial.
Yeah.
Not only could potentially take a lot longer. Yeah. It could spawn bugs that then need to be fixed.
Exactly.
And all of that time that is taken from people like yourself or people like the QA team or the testers or whoever else is then taken away from other content that they have to do.
Yeah, so we constantly have to do this like balancing act with all the stuff, because we want to do all the things, right?
Yeah. And we can't do all of it, but it's something that in the future I think we could expect to see for sure. There was a question on Discord. And I think I know the answer to this. Maybe you can try and answer it. So, what is the biggest map in Hitman 2? So of the 6 main missions,
area.
It just says biggest map. So let's just say in terms of like,
it's very
accessible space or whatever.
It is Hawke's Bay.
Hawke's Bay. That's what I thought it was as well.
It is.
And that's what I think. Are you saying for sure? I think for sure, but I'm not
99%
sure.
sure.
I would say that much as well.
It's huge, actually. When you look at, like, when you see the
playable
map,
space
it's
is big.
But that doesn't mean that it's the most complex.
No, of course not. It's probably definitely not the most complex.
No, but it's huge.
Yeah, which I think surprised people. I saw at least one suggestion that maybe Mumbai.
Yeah.
Because it feels big. There's a lot of spaces to go in little corners and alleys and hideouts and stuff like that, and you can go over the train tracks at the top, or not the train tracks, but the passageway at the top.
And the high rise, and there's just so much different and so dense in some areas that it feels like, whoa.
But I remember the mail from Forest was like, it's actually Hawke's Bay. That's what I remember. Yeah, okay. So we think
it's just pretty.
We think it's Hawke's Bay, but of course it depends on how you mean by biggest.
Yeah.
Because that depends on many different things.
Not amount of NPCs, for instance.
So we'll keep going through questions here, and we'll take more questions from chat as well. There was a really interesting question about if we're planning to add any additional unique items. And I think we are. I think
so
with
too.
the locations, with the bank, and with resort.
Yes.
Trying to get my head around the public-facing names
Yeah,
at this point, not saying the code names.
Sh and the sh.
Yeah. I think there's some coming there.
I think so.
But I think also when unique items, I mean, if that means something completely crazy off the wall. But I'm pretty sure that there's some... I would say yes, but it also depends on what you exactly mean by the question. How you mean by unique.
Yeah.
For sure. There was also a follow-up question which was quite interesting about how players can support IO now that we're an independent studio. Which is, I think, as simple as just play the games, ask other people to play them.
Tell your friends about...
There's no other way. We're not doing Patreon pages or donations or anything like that. Also, one thing about when you start the stream, I don't know if you guys see it as well, but at least on Twitch, it says this ad supports IO Interactive. I can tell you it doesn't. I think that's...
Oh, really? Fake news,
we don't get no money from that.
What?
I think it's standard text that they give to partners that we need to ask them to change. We don't get money. Just so you know, if you think we are making revenues off our streams, we don't. At least then it doesn't come to me. So, there we go.
Not me.
Questions from chat about... will location music be coming back to ghost mode? So this is an interesting one. This is something that I bugged. Because I saw people talking about it, saying Colombia came out, there's no music. And then I was told, Miami has no music either.
No,
so it's not coming back because it was never there.
Oh, we actually removed it. We could turn it back on.
Aha,
but it was actually a creative decision.
Okay,
because the music was built... The music system was built for main mission, for these things that happen in a main mission that make sense in a main mission, but that doesn't necessarily make sense in ghost mode.
Right.
So, because it's a different pace and you do a lot of stuff, we don't need that now you were sneaking and now you broke now they spotted you and stuff. It's so it felt to me personally, it felt more like noise and distracting from the really beautiful soundscape that we have in the game. So we made, me and the principal sound designer, Jonas, we made a decision to cut it. For now. But with the agreement that if a lot of players were feeling sad, then we could turn it back on. So I'm interested in hearing actually
that's a good point. I mean,
what people feel about this. It's a good opportunity to actually ask. Does it ruin the experience for you? Do you want it turned back on? So maybe we can do it.
Maybe that's a question we can do right now. So if you're in chat right now on Twitch or Mixer, just give us a quick yes for sound or no for sound if you write that in.
Not sound, music.
Music, there we go. Sound. My bad, we have sound. I always mix sound, audio, music, and it's so unfair to the people that work on it. And I'm always do you remember we won Best Game Design and we won Best... Audio.
Yeah.
Okay, so you knew. I was like, sound design, audio, what? I'm so bad at remembering that.
Design. You can call it sound design.
So this is also your prize.
Yeah.
We brought it here for you. Okay, so give us a quick one. We can look back at the stream and we can see a quick yes or no.
Cool.
We will also take feedback from other places.
Quick glance. No, yes, no, yes. And for music, bring those tunes back.
Okay, so it's
50-50?
Yeses and nos. Okay.
As expected, kind of.
We can go back and watch with live chat and see roughly. Probably not going to count 1 to 1.
I'm going to count.
No.
Okay, Clemens has accepted he will count. He will tweet the numbers when he knows.
We're in election mode these days, right?
Oh, we are.
Yeah.
Place your votes now.
Yeah.
Okay, completely changing course completely. Hitman Dave says, what happened to the class band? The band in Bangkok.
Oh,
so we had the band and then Jordan got killed. And you know what? I think they're still on Twitter.
Jordan band? Are we talking about the characters in the game? Yeah. But because
they got music and some of the characters you might see in other places.
You might see them in other places.
If you look in, are they in? People will know. I know they're somewhere. I think. I don't want to say Colombia or Miami.
I don't want to.
Or maybe future stuff.
Yeah, that's why I'm like.
I think, as far as we know, only Jordan is dead.
He's dead.
In terms of the story, you killed him. He dead.
He's surely.
He's
dead.
not Mark Faber. He dead.
He died.
Okay, there we go. He's probably dead. But I mean, follow them on Twitter. I think they're the class band or something.
They are?
Maybe there was a tweet they did like a few months ago. Maybe. I don't know. Ask the guy who handles the Twitter page.
Oh.
I don't know. Okay, another question. Completely, like I said, no order. This is a question just for you. Okay. What's the future of the plot?
Of the plot?
So the game story, what's going to happen next?
Oh my god, that's not for me at all. I'm all about gameplay.
I think that's a wait and see question. We can't answer that.
I have no idea.
We don't want to spoil it either.
No.
there's a lot of interesting stuff coming with our next locations about what's happening with some of the characters that you might recognize from the past game. But we'll get that when it comes. Here's one. This is actually for you.
Okay.
I'm not even joking.
I don't
this time.
trust you anymore.
This is from. You should wait. So this is from Iris on Discord. So from the idea phase to the finished escalation. I'm adding the drama here with the question. See, escalation. I know I've got you. I got you hooked. How long does it take to come up with an idea, and then retool the map to fit the theme if you need to make changes? Is it possible to time frame it somehow?
I mean, some of them, as it is with ideas, they come really fast. Like there's just these great areas in the levels that haven't been used before. And we just go in and it's like, oh, that guy, perfect loop. I don't have to change anything. It just fits perfectly with the, and then of course you can't, this complication just makes sense and stuff. And then it's actually really fast to make an escalation. Yeah. And then sometimes it takes a bit longer. Yeah. If you're like, we have to make 8 in this, or like in Paris, in season 1, you know, there's like 18, I think we made like 18 escalations in Paris. And I have to be honest, like towards the end where I had to come up with new ideas for escalation in Paris, it was like, where do I go?
In the far corner of the garden.
NPC, so, but actually usually escalations there, and that's what I really like about them, is that they're like kind of these found objects in the levels. Just basing them on all the amazing level design that's already there, and then adding a few, like turning a bit of some knobs and adding some complications and maybe moving some stuff around and tweaking a little bit. But it's actually pretty. It's pretty fast. Okay. It's like a week or two. So yeah.
Can you remember one of the most difficult changes? Like I know there's things like the laser tripwires. There's things like different objectives. Yeah. Sticky pistol comes to mind.
Oh yeah.
Don't drop the hatchet. Things like that.
Yeah, like some of them were.
Is there some of them that you thought this is going to take a long time, but it's going to be really cool?
Yeah.
There's a lot. Some things like for example.
Yeah, the sticky pistol. I know there's like some people thought it was really fun, and then some people thought it wasn't fun. But
that's always the case with escalations.
But that's also like the thing about like if you feel like if the timer is not kind of on point with these things, and you feel like you're failing unfairly, then it's not a fun. It doesn't feel like a fun experience, and I totally understand that. Yeah. So I think with some of these timed, like very tight objectives, it can feel bad if it feels like it's buggy or it doesn't work exactly as you expect it to. Sure. So some of those complications have been the more difficult ones to. Ooh, and then
You have to say now.
Yeah,
what is this?
No, the Mallory misfortune is like one of the epically bummer.
We just lost 20. We just lost 20 viewers. Everyone. That's one of the few escalations people know by name.
Yeah.
Because like the names are one thing. So but if people don't know. How would you describe that escalation?
It was in Colorado, and it was about like actually this pretty fun kind of experiment with having like this guy stalking you around the map, which actually works. I mean, it wasn't like a full feature or anything. It was just something we tried out, just building some version of it, but that's actually not the part that people dislike. Right. It's just some
people really don't
there.
like it.
Yeah,
but
then,
it can get annoying. Anyway.
Yeah, but the thing that they really don't is just the selection of targets. So again, that's speaking of like legacy escalations. That one hasn't been released, and I think if we release it again,
April Fool's Day,
maybe we're gonna do a bit of tweaking, just making another target, and then you have to go back to 216
additional
to actually
targets.
play additional impossible targets. Yeah.
Okay. Have you seen the Big Mooney video when he plays that escalation?
Where he plays the Mallory. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah? And you're still smiling?
Yeah.
He wasn't.
I'm always smiling.
He wasn't. Shout out to Big Mooney. He's been in here. We've met him.
It's okay.
He made his escalation.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that, by the way.
About the Mallory misfortune in general?
It was a misfortune. I mean, but it's in the name, so I mean, no surprises there. No.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. This is why we had you here, just to talk about Mallory misfortune. It was all a ruse.
I brought it up myself.
We need answers for Mallory misfortune.
Shit.
The names for escalations.
Yeah.
They are getting more and more complicated and harder to fit in roadmaps because they're really long.
Really?
They're really long.
They're getting longer.
It seems like someone's like adding 10% each time.
Yes.
And words, you've got to Google what the words mean, or other search engines.
There is some.
So the namings are fun, but they all match, which I don't think people realize.
No,
as complicated and weird as the words look, they do match what you're doing. Like you said, misfortune.
They actually, that one's
no,
easy.
but other ones actually do match.
And the names usually have some meaning that it's kind of hidden meaning that relates to what you're doing.
Yeah.
So we actually try to make something that both sound really silly, but also kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
Is it like
if you squint your eyes a little bit.
Who comes up with the name?
The people who make them.
The
people who make them.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. We're knocking along at a good time. Can we get a John Wick outfit? I mean, John Wick wears suits, right? We wear suits, so I think that's a.
I already got it. No. Wait, is that what you're saying?
I mean, what is a John Wick outfit? That could be many different things.
Yeah.
He as far as I've seen, he wears lots of different stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want a wig with like really long hair and beard and it's raining and maybe.
I love wigs on 47, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're the hospital
the first time I saw it, I was like,
it's hilarious. And that guy, the lawyer from the Sapienza flashback mission with the politician.
Bravo
the Bravo Umo with the like great.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Anyway, sorry.
I love the Easter egg in his name as well. If people don't know it, I'll tell you afterwards. If you don't know it, cool. Otherwise, look at it. So 2 questions from chat. Will sedative syringe be added as an unlock now that they are useful? I don't think there's plans for it, but sedative syringe unlock. I can ask. Don't know.
We can look
That's my handwriting. That doesn't say sedative syringe unlock, but I'll know what it means.
Yeah.
Shorthand. Journalist training will help. And then this is an interesting question from Danger Dog Guy, who says, "Are you guys planning on returning to the cinematic cutscenes?" Which I guess is a kind of question to, if you look at Hitman 1. When you finish a mission, the cutscene that you get versus the cutscene you get if you finish a mission in Hitman 2, they have a different style. Obviously, a big part of that is, I don't know how much people know about this, but a lot of the help that we got from the cutscenes, the studio that produced them, were Square Enix related. So of course, when we then became an independent studio, that's obviously one of the things that gets changed. So we made a creative choice to put out the cutscenes in the way that we did. I don't know what the name would be for them, but people have seen them. But I also think that if you look at, if you want to get an idea of sort of the direction that we have, our cinematic director that came on for Hitman 2 and has properly started to get his hands into like starting projects from the beginning. Obviously didn't join at the very beginning of Hitman 2,
no.
I don't think, or didn't have the time at least to kind of make it his own. If you look at the mission briefings for Hantu Port, I think that's the only one that's out right now. That sort of theme and style is matched by the one for the future missions as well, especially the expansion pass stuff. I think that's where you can see it. So you get an idea of the shift a little bit more in-game, a little bit more... I mean, I don't want to put words, but maybe it's an interesting conversation to have with Cosmo himself, but those sorts of things, you can see the idea. You can see a difference between Hitman 1, Hitman 2, and then Hitman 2 expansion to kind of group the 3. There's a clear shift between those 3 there. Cool. We have got about 10 minutes left. We started a bit late, so maybe 10-15 minutes. So I'm thinking a few more questions. I don't know if there's anything burning from chat that's coming through since we've been talking. A few more questions, then we've got the outro, and then we can wrap up.
Cool.
So I'm looking here about, this is an interesting question as well. So Tessio on Discord asks about whether it's possible to see additional starting locations in Season 2 maps for 47 in his suit.
Wait,
so like, is there additional places he could start? So if you think of like Miami, he could start outside, he could start various places along the water. Like we could, in theory,
if we could add
more ones, add more starting locations.
We could, again,
I would
time, it's
of course.
A question of time.
Yeah.
But we sure could.
In theory we could.
Yeah.
I guess it also comes down to a sort of, we did something we're very happy with. We don't really want to revisit it unless there's a really strong reason.
Unless it's really necessary because something is broken or like unplayable or like...
Or there's like hundreds of thousands of people saying this would make a huge impact, and then of course we're like, okay.
Yeah.
But I think it's a nice idea, and I think it's a cool thing that they specifically said suit. I would imagine that's easier because you don't have to consider, okay, what disguise would it be in? How would that affect playthroughs? How would that affect certain mission stories? It would be fun to start here. That could be a cool thing. But again, priorities.
Yeah.
There's a question about second chances for Hitman 2 elusive targets. I'm pretty sure that will happen. It's happened with the Undying. I know that was a separate contract, but
And it's happened for season one.
So I would imagine that at a certain point in Hitman 2's lifestyle, also life
It's
cycle
also
is where I was actually trying to
interesting,
go. That would make sense to do that. Yes. Then, 3 more questions. Maybe more here. Okay, so when we released the Game of the Year edition way back, 2017, I want to say, we had the anniversary outfits. So you can dress up as
the Freedom
Lynch,
Fighters.
Freedom Fighter, and
Meaning.
this guy.
Oh yeah.
Futo. You can dress up as him, right? And we, famous last words, we said that later in the year you can buy it. That was 2 years ago. Still can't buy it.
Oh, really?
Fun fact. So a lot of people know about this because anything we say we can't ever be forgotten for. So despite they don't actually haunt my dreams, people think they do. Again, like the wetsuit, we have a plan. I've actively been working on the plan. And I think people will be very happy with it. So yes, we know. Yes, they're coming. Wait and see what we do with them. I think you'll like it. Clemens is laughing, so that's a worry.
Maybe it's a good question coming up.
On the subject of suits, it's funny looking at Clemens, looking down, I can see you laughing and then look and you're still laughing. People everywhere. The Winter Sports Pack that we released as part of Expansion Pack 1. There's a chicken.
What?
There's a question from the chicken. My God, people with these names, people. So the chicken on Hitman Forum says, are there plans to release another outfit pack like the Winter Sports Pack? So yes.
I think that's a yes.
We have, as part of the expansion pass, you get expansion pack 1 and 2. So expansion pack 1 had Winter Sports Pack, I think it's called, and expansion pack 2 will have its own outfit pack, as it's called here. So yes, is the answer. It's again, it'll come with expansion pack 2. Yes. We are seeing questions about what is the name of the sunglasses on the Florida Fit outfit? That's the one from Miami. The name of the sunglasses.
I mean, we can call them whatever we want.
I mean, do they mean like the brand name? Like, are they?
I don't know.
May
I don't think they have a name.
bands,
They're like,
or are they
like hey,
hoochies,
hey,
or
bands.
I don't know.
I don't know.
like American Deep South. What
Bands.
you're going with?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think they have.
I don't know the answer, and I don't know why you're asking either.
No, but I
Strange
mean,
one.
questions. I mean, there are no bad questions. Only
bad answers.
replies. Yeah.
Okay, so last question we'll do from chat is, will console players get a chance at a sweet Hitman PC? I don't know who's asked that, but this is in relation to something that I probably should have done on the studio update. So we recently announced the second round of the Intel speedrun competition, where PC players have a custom contract that's been created by Supreme Commander Ike from the Hitman community, where players can complete it in 2 ways to win 2 different prizes. So if you are the fastest, meaning you've got the best score, so Silent Assassin basically, not just fastest, we want Silent Assassin, then you can win a custom Hitman PC. Round 1 was won by Goulet, so he did an unboxing video where he unboxed all the cables and all the stuff, and he wasn't expecting to get a monitor and a keyboard and everything, so he got the whole thing, this big bright PC. When you turn it on, massive big hot magenta color, some people say pink, it just boom, lights up the whole room. So there's round 2 of this competition, so players again can do that, win the PC, or if you are the most creative, which will be judged internally here, you can do it however you like. You win a drone, Hitman 2 drone. Cool prizes.
Cool, man.
But this is only for PC players. So the contracts are only on PC. They are just a regular featured contract, so in theory, console players can remake them. There's no special tricks going into them other than using the contracts mode tools. But it is only for PC. There's no plans right now that those things will change for console players to win PCs. The competition is in collaboration with Intel. That's where the PC aspect comes from. We kind of agreed with them that it makes more sense. It helps with the messaging, the communication, that working with Intel, it's for PC players, and the prizes that you win are PC related, with the exception of the drone.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a whole other thing. So the unfortunate answer is no answer for console players. But if you're on PC, then check out the IO blog on details on how to win either a custom PC, super powerful one, courtesy of Intel, or the drone as well. And the mission briefing for the contract actually explains the competition pretty well. Clemens did a great job on that. So if you're in game and not sure what's going on, just read the mission briefing. It'll tell you what's going on. Yes. So now we get to the really exciting stuff. We've done questions, boom, which is exciting in itself. But until now, we've only been saying outro. So what we want to talk about is some of the other things that are coming in the June roadmap. So far, people know June roadmap, Muffin Man Challenge Pack, out tomorrow. Get your muffins, throw them at people, knock them down.
See them get up again.
Exactly. That's what I think we give you 3 muffins. So you can go boom, boom, boom,
Doink, doink.
and then pick up your muffins and do it again.
Yeah.
Then we've got Greed Kills as the theme. And of course, as many people are probably predicting, this will not surprise anybody, the bank is releasing for owners of our expansion pass.
Woohoo!
So the bank is an entirely new location that is being added to the game on June 25th. And this is only for expansion pass owners. Also for expansion pack 1. Important to mention that there is a slight difference. So if you've bought the gold edition, then you'll get this. If you've bought the silver edition, you'll also get this. And the same for the collector's edition. If you just bought the standard version, then you'll need to upgrade to the expansion pass to play the bank. There's no plans for the bank to be available for separate sale. It's part of the expansion pass or part of expansion pack 1. June 25th, that's about 4 weeks from now, when you'll be able to have that special moment of launching into a new mission for the first time.
Yeah.
The team here have worked really, really hard on creating the bank, but I'm specifically not going to say a whole lot about it, because we have lined up some members of the team from the bank to join us next month to sit in your seat or more seats, depending how many mics we have and how many people we can fit in, to talk a little bit more in depth about the process they went through for making the bank, what they like about it, what they think people will be excited about, some of the ambitions and behind the scenes stories. And in that period from now until then, we are going to be talking a lot more about the bank. The fact that it's 4 weeks away means we're ready to reveal the date that it's released. And also another reveal for the bank is that the mission name is the Golden Handshake. Or just Golden Handshake.
A golden handshake.
A golden handshake.
A golden handshake.
It's something golden handshake.
A golden handshake.
I'm seeing
is
you're
my
nodding.
guess.
Okay. So golden
Something
handshake
with golden
is involved.
yeah.
Golden handshake. And the bank obviously leads into the theme of greed kills. You know, there's a lot of talk about money and greediness. And whatever you think about your local bank is up to you, but you know.
Nick says golden handshake, not a.
Okay. So confirmed live on
Thank
stream
you, Nick.
from Nick
Thank you.
on Twitch. It's just golden handshake. So let's go. Let's rewind the tape. What did I say? Did I say golden handshake? I said the.
And
See,
I said
hesitated.
A.
I hesitated.
I said A.
But I think it's just golden.
And that's why we're not
okay.
writers. That's
No.
why Nick is the writer.
Yes, Nick.
And we're not.
So Nick tuned in for 52 minutes to tell us that we got it wrong. Thanks, Nick. So confirmed. Golden handshake. The bank, June 25th. Mission name Golden Handshake. Details still to be confirmed, such as where it actually is. We haven't said that yet. We're going to tell people soon.
Cool.
And slowly, throughout the next month, people will find out the location name. They will find out other cool stuff. We got plans to about Golden Handshake mission, which is going to the bank. So, okay, let me recap. Just so we say all accurately once. So if people want to make the Twitch clip, this is it.
Okay.
So on June 25th, 2019, for owners of the Hitman 2 Expansion Pass and Hitman 2 Expansion Pack 1, the bank, a new location coming to Hitman 2 will release, and the mission name is Golden Handshake. More details will come over the course of the month. Especially, put it in your calendar now, June 24th, IOI Monthly episode 4 with the bank team. We're going to go in depth on the process, the plan, a lot of cool stuff coming there.
Very exciting.
So the day before the bank comes out, that's where we're kind of all no holds barred, all gloves are off. You know, we'll have released a few things by then. We can go through a lot, but our current plan is to not spoil too much in terms of the experience. We're going to tell you a lot about the location. We're going to tell you a lot about some of the characters, stuff about the unlocks, the targets, challenges, some of those things. But that moment of going in fresh and just kind of like seeing it all and going around doing your own stuff, that will be kind of maintained. So we'll have trailers,
Makes sense.
stuff like that. And you'll also see the briefing video, which is
Awesome.
it's fucking cool. It's fucking cool.
It really is.
And again, it's matching the theme of the Hantu Port briefing video, which we mentioned before. That sort of style. Really, really cool there.
Very cool.
Cool. Cool. They all got very exciting with guests coming in and not out yet, but going through different things. I haven't seen any questions pop up from chat. Hopefully they're all getting super excited, trying to figure out what this Latin stuff means that's on there, on the bank image there. It's like a brand new image for the bank, which we purposely, again, haven't shown too much, but we want to give you kind of an idea of what's coming.
Throw a delayed birthday for Mindy. He had birthday Saturday.
Okay, it was Mindy's birthday. And am I right in saying that it was last time we did, was it me and you that did a stream in Bangkok? And we went,
No.
me and you.
Yeah.
It was Mindy's birthday, right? Okay, so we don't have Bangkok to make them all sing happy birthday, happy birthday. But yeah, okay. So shout out to Mindy, happy birthday from Saturday.
Happy birthday.
If anyone else is having birthdays during either not during live streams is a bit strange, but when live streams are happening, shout at us. We'll let you know
Sure.
that it's your birthday and give you a shout out.
Birthdays
I don't know
are
what we'll let you know.
important.
I'm looking at you, Clemens. I don't think there's anything else we wanted to announce that we've forgotten. Cool. We went with the bank. Yes! I knew there was something. So, more reveals. Okay. Also on June 25th, more Cecil. This never ends. I said before that we have the busiest month.
Yeah.
So we said everything about June 25th in the bank. Also, we have 2 special assignment missions. We've shown them for the first time on our content highlights roadmap, like the whole roadmap for the year. They are called Illusions of Grandeur in Mumbai, and we have Embrace of the Serpent in Colombia. And they're right, Nick, before you correct me, they're right. They are also releasing June 25th, alongside the bank. And they are also only in Expansion Pass or Expansion Pack 1. So on that day, boom,
lot
new
of
location,
stuff
2
happening.
new missions.
Dang.
We will talk a little bit more about the missions. We've kind of run over time as we get through. I know now that we've said that, people will be asking lots of questions. We can also, we have answers on the blog. We're going to put like an information blast about the bank and what's coming. But we wanted to let you know that June 25th is a big day. With 2 new special assignment missions, which are a new type of content. We've not done special assignments before, of course. And the bank. And that's where we're going to end the stream.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cecil, for your
You're welcome.
for your extended time here.
Sorry for being late.
No worries at all. You came just at the right time. If there's questions people ask about stuff that we kind of promised you would answer and they didn't get a chance to, we'll come find you. We'll get answers. Just let us know. You can also jump in for the last 10 minutes of the next live stream if you want.
Sure,
like a regular thing.
Let's see.
Cecil's 10 minutes and you can
if
just pop
there's
in.
questions.
Hello, it's me.
Haha.
Yeah, I think that's a great place to wrap. Thank you for your time. Thank you to everyone who joined.
Thank you, everyone.
And we will have more information about the bank coming. And June 24th is when the next live stream is. So we'll see you on that one. Thank you for your time today, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Good luck, 47.